We're in the thick of basketball season now. Much more to tell you about this week on The Corner on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. We got our first look at Dan Fickey's men's basketball team this past week on Tuesday inside the Wheeler Center. They opened their home schedule with a big win over Johnson C. Smith. They shot 64% from the floor. The Crusaders were led by senior L.J. McCoy. He scored a career-high 25 points. And on Saturday, they started off 1-0 in conference play, outlasting North Greenville in a thriller 85-77. Sean Halloran notched a season-high 23 points and 4 steals. And the Abbey closed out the game on a 7-0 run. They're now 3-1 to start the year. And on women's basketball, after a week off, Jason Williams' team got back to work on Saturday night, starting 1-0 in conference play, 68-54 over North Greenville. Despite no Brittany Autry nor Kiana Spivey, they showed great resilience and got 20 points from freshman Peyton Nation off the bench and great leadership from senior Alexis Schultz. She scored 14 points, 6 rebounds, and handed out 4 assists. Exceptional outing on both ends of the floor. The wrestling team, they got a big rivalry win over Queens on Wednesday, 21-18. The Crusaders won 6 matches in a row to claim the victory. It came down to the final bout, but Justin Wright's 4-1 decision among the heavyweights made the difference. On Saturday, wrestling was on the road. They won at Allen and St. Andrews 45-0 and 33-12 respectively. The Crusaders won 8 falls and 8 decisions and did not allow Allen to score a point in the duel. When we return, bowling coach Rich Guchva joins us on the Crusader Corner. We'll have him after this time out on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network.
This Giving Tuesday,
by providing a small or large gift,
you can instantly impact Belmont Abbey athletics.
And together, we can reach new heights,
new milestones, new goals, and new levels.
Thank you for your support.
Are you for the red? For the red.
For the red.
For the red.
Hello, Belmont Abbey fans, and welcome back to the Crusader Corner here on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. And it's time for our featured guest of the week, voice of the Crusaders, Jeffrey Childs. We're joined by bowling coach today, Rich Gutzva. And Rich, we welcome you to the corner.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
So, like many of our coaches here, interesting background for you, and you have a little bit of a different path. You were a professional bowler, and then you coached at some high schools, and now you find your way here to the Abbey. How'd that come about?
Yeah, well, I always want to clarify, I was a member of the Professional Bowlers Association. I would not consider myself a pro bowler. I never went on tour. I was just kind of a hack out there having some fun. So, but yeah, no, I spent my life in corporate America like a lot of people. Had that aha moment. What do I really want to do with my life? And started coaching part-time high school. I was always a private coach. Had some high-level players that I worked with. And, then an opportunity came up to coach at the D3 level, women's team back in Illinois. And I really wasn't looking to make a move at all. I happened to come across I think it was a Facebook post or something that somebody heard that Belmont Abbey was looking for a head coach. And I did a little bit of research and honestly spent about almost 6 months talking with our athletic director here, Stephen Miss. And once I landed on the ground here, had a visit, I knew this was a place that I wanted to be.
Rich, every coach has their own style, their own philosophy. What are you looking at when you're looking at potential bowlers, and how do you shape this program?
Well, I think there's room for all levels of talent, of course. We're a developmental program, but we also are a very competitive program. I'm just looking for players that have a desire to learn and that come with intent and purpose. We're going to get those players that want to go pro the second that they can graduate, and there's a place for them here. I can certainly get them to reach whatever goals they want. And then there's some that want to come here and just get away from the academic grind, but also want to be competitive, but maybe don't want to go pro. So there's varying levels, and based on what their goals are, we set those goals, and then that's the kind of coach that they get from me, because there's different levels of accountability and commitment based on what their goals happen to be.
Recruits have different goals. They have different things they want to accomplish. Obviously, Belmont Abbey, very proficient in the academic, the athletic, the spiritual side of things. What does the bowling program have to offer anyone who's maybe looking to start their career here at the Abbey?
Yeah, I think bowling is a unique sport. It's an often misunderstood sport, and there aren't a lot of colleges. There certainly aren't a lot of big state schools that have bowling. Maybe on the women's D1 side, but for us, I think what I always preach to my recruits is, there's three things you got to look at. Academic alignment. Does the school align with your academic goals? What do you want to do in life if you have an idea yet? And because the school's not going anywhere. So do they match up? Secondly, do you click with the coach? Because the coach most likely isn't going anywhere. So will we be able to communicate? Can I get you where you want to get? And then lastly, the team. The teams are more fluid. Kids graduate, teams get better, they go through rebuilding. But if you can find a few players on that team that you really want to work with, that that you can develop with, that's the key. And then when you look at the number of schools out there, if bowling is part of that equation, the pool shrinks. And what the culture I'm trying to create is three things. One, become a better bowler, obviously. Two, get ready for the world, the workplace. And then three, come out a better human being. And, our mission of excellence and virtue, and you're right, the spiritual component, the foundation, I think is really a great character builder to get everybody, just sort of ready for the world, in all three components.
When you think back to where this program was when you took over, the players, the student athletes you have here, and you think about what you would like to accomplish in the future, what comes to mind?
Well, of course, the competitive side of me wants to win, but the really gratifying thing about coaching and the reason I coach is to have an impact in some way. Growing up, I didn't get a lot of direction, so I think as a result, I want to try and give that. So I do a little bit of life coaching too, but it's just all encompassing. It's all about that, mind, body, soul is really what I'm looking for to help get out of the team. And if we went along the way, that's great.
Rich, it's been great speaking with you today. Great having you on the corner. Really, thank you for coming today.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
All right, that's bowling coach Rich Gutzva joining us here on the Crusader Corner. And when we come back, we'll look at the week ahead in Abbey Athletics on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network.
Oh, this? I was playing catch a little too hard with the dog. He's got quite an arm. I've been through this before. It'll be better in a couple of days. Probably.
Visit one of Ortho Carolina's specialists right away by logging on to orthocarolina.com. Leave the waiting to this guy.
Come on, honey.
Ortho Carolina. You improved.
With the holiday this week, light schedule of games going on around campus, but we're stuffed full of hoops action. The men and women go to SWU on Tuesday for the first time of the year, and if you're looking for another way to show how thankful you are, you can watch both your basketball teams at Wheeler. The women play Clayton State at Lander, 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock Friday and Saturday night, while the men host USC Aiken at 2 o'clock on Friday. You can always get your tickets at Hometown Ticketing. You can find those at abbeyathletics.com/ticketing, and as always, all games are broadcast live on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Well, that's all for this week. Thanks to bowling coach Rich Gutzva for joining us on the Crusader Corner. We're thankful to you for watching the Crusader Corner each and every week. And for all of us at Belmont Abbey College, this is the voice of the Crusaders, Jeffrey Childs, saying so long, happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week on the Crusader Corner, as always, on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network.